for this. I think it's 123 total in this tournament. So
yeah, pretty nice show out too.
Yeah, it's awesome. We have just that. You know, either of these guys. You know what?
Yeah, they're both some South Florida locals. I've seen them play.
Oh, perfect. Right
we got some deck list here. You got Josiah on your side, and then I got JC on this side. He goes by.
It's like Hero Frog. Like,
yeah, this is looking like value. Yeah.
Classic matchup.
Okay.
Now, this guy has.
See anything interesting? Okay, one Icarus in the value turbo deck, which is interesting, but I've heard people talk about it just to have an additional defensive option.
I mean, it's not, I would say, common, but it's playing.
I wouldn't say it's
the Hero Frog guy is playing card.
Okay.
Just gonna throw that out there. Haven't seen that one.
Okay. Interesting. I mean, it gets your frogs into rotation sometimes if you need to get to a tree board.
He's on 2 Swap Frog, 1 card.
2 Swap Frog is interesting. The card is at 3, right?
The guaranteed tree board for.
So the card is at 3, right? I just want to make sure. Maybe there was just
people do play 2, but the card trooper is a fine one. That people do play 2 though. I mean, it's not good to draw too many frogs and like once. But
yeah, but like Swap Frog gets rid of the other frogs.
I like Swap.
Me too, and it also like it gets to reset a lot. Your monsters, like if you need to,
it bounces the tree more, and drawing a higher quantity of water is often. But other than that, I mean, these are pretty standard.
Yeah. Speaking of card trooper, we see it there in his opening hand with the swap.
Yeah. But he's going for guarantee.
Yeah.
Yeah. At least where
Well, he's setting up the tree board. I saw he had it looked like a Ryza in his hand.
Yeah.
So wanting to get that tribute guarantee.
Imagine if he just on that and hit.
Honestly, he probably would have
hit. Be a king.
That trooper is going to hit really well.
Yeah.
Excuse my hiccups right now, but.
What you said, Rick?
Yeah, he just said a Regeki break. I wonder if he has a good discard in his hand already.
Good value. I see a value. I see a
Gale, Rhoda. It just looked like it was all monsters after this Rhoda resolved.
Which honestly, in value, often sometimes the best hands, just like all gas.
Like if he has anything, and I call them like value discards, just like
which I see a value.
Like something with a graveyard effect, it's really strong with the Gruffer.
Yeah. And I mean, this is just like.
This is a super solid turn one, to be honest with you.
You don't always want to, summon thing, do both into a back row, sometimes if you get bottomless there. But, like, a lot of times, dude, I'm just going for it, especially against frogs. I mean, they're not playing bottomless, they're not playing deeper.
Yeah, the only thing that I feel like would be a little scary is if they have, like, trap plus, like, a Gores early.
Yes.
I don't know if these frog decks are playing anything like Legacy or Jar.
Sometimes they are, and he just went for 17 there, which I think is also pretty smart because, okay, 2 things also. So one, I mean, they play the most discard traps. Like a set card is most likely going to be just on a raw numbers level.
And it was good he didn't push because not only I imagine this is what you were going to bring up. He didn't force the trap, so Treeborn wasn't free, exactly. And now he didn't lose his value synchro to Kai's either.
Yes, like regardless of kind of what the trap was, like there's a if you had Brain or Soul Exchange or like all these things like. A Monarch cracks your arm ring and Gruffer, and it's hard to come back from. But it is also hard to come back from a Monarch with a discard trap behind it. So, I mean, he can go here. I think he might have a prize. I'm not sure, but
the Monarchs being 24 is just so strong in this format.
So he can summon the Armed, and then if he has a Kai's, he can summon it. He could also special the Gale. He's just a normal. Okay, so he's holding on to that value. Value engrave, which honestly in the frog matchup is pretty useful because sometimes you want to just like build up to one turn where you kind of burst them. But and here kind of the same thing here, like he's not forcing the discard trap, although now he has a set back row, so he could Enfage.
Yeah. It feels weird to try and give the frog deck turns though, because I think it has one of the better inevitabilities in the format. I mean, these are 2 of the better inevitability decks in the format for sure. But
yeah, it's a tough thing, but I think kind of just like on a basic level, the frog deck, if you're not putting things on board, like there are ways that they can apply pressure, like Miracles or Jump Synchron's a good one. But like if you're just building up a lot of cards in hand, they can't really progress either. And so eventually, you're going to draw your Dark Crown or whatever. So a lot of times I think, again, especially playing value, because a lot of the boards that you would make are pretty vulnerable to just getting like monarch load now. So sometimes you kind of end up in these draw times, right? But
I wonder what play Josiah is going to make. He has a couple options with the
Well,
Brain
he has-
Con and the Ryza.
yeah, he has two. He has Rise and Kai's.
Oh, and Kai's.
So I was gonna say, like, if it was only one monarch in hand, I might just be interested in like troopering over the Gale. But I mean, maybe I'm still doing that because you don't really want to rise the Gale.
I think you definitely don't want to rise to the Gale. It's not wanting to Kai's the Gale, knowing they have value in the graveyard.
Yeah, I think just going for the trooper, honestly. If he's also at 48. Yeah, I mean, this puts him super low.
This gives him a chance to try and go for lethal next turn, depending on
Ran. So it's
yeah,
like,
with the combination of the break, I think this is probably a smarter idea
it's
because
super low.
he
Yeah,
puts him at what 14 after this.
I believe. Well,
12. Okay, yeah.
pretty hard. I mean, but it's sort of. I mean, he worked through the Regeki break. He baited it a little bit, but like he got him to use it on the torrential, and now we're probably going to see a send plague here.
The thing is, Plague is just going to cost him his whole hand if he wants to use it right.
He's 2 in hand right now.
Well, he's
Yeah.
going to stack 1 for Plague. I guess he can make a Goyo. He doesn't have to make a Brio, which is what I was.
Well, I think he has a value. He has double like he has 2 vibe motions.
Oh,
This
Oh,
is why
this like-
this is why you save all.
Yeah.
But this is game. This
Yeah.
honestly is game because he's going to banish the thing,
this is 28.
and
Yeah,
he can make a
is he at full?
I think he's at less. Well, I think he swung with the Greffer, so
But
he's at.
He can make a Stardust, right? And then he can
I mean, this
banish
is
the
just-
Bayou and the armor wing for the Armor Master.
Yeah, I mean, this is game a bunch of different ways. He did this in kind of a strange way because he banished. Like, he probably should have made Goyo first and then banished the Greffer, but like,
That I wonder which card was off the top. Probably the dad, but you
it
never
might
know.
be the second Greffer. Yeah, I mean, I could.
It could have been the
A
second.
lot of times
Greffer.
when they don't go for
the banish early,
banish early, I'm like,
Yeah.
like
they're controlling their darks.
it depends. I mean, it's like, but a lot of times, like, yeah, a lot of times.
I mean, just like you were saying, they just hold their resources just to try and have one big push in a turn. He didn't even have to use his value until the last turn. Like he set it up turn 1 and you just applied pressure with different cards.
I think like knowing how to kind of play through the discard trap is really important because a lot of times, like, I think like it kind of worked out this way for different reasons, but a lot of times, like, what you don't want to let them do is like end phase, Regeki break, pop your back row, get back frog, Kaiser monster.
Yeah.
Like that, it just like ruinous. So a lot of times, like, if you just have one back row, then it's like they're not getting the value off the monarch. Like if you just have one monster, then they're in an awkward spot because they either have to get great monster, then they have nothing for Kai's. Like, so a lot of times, like, I feel like you kind of play it that way. But I mean, I don't know. I don't know how much he did or didn't set it up, but it's like I think setting the TT so that he Regeki break it, and then he kind of didn't have any back row for the next turn.
Yeah. He was able to at least realize that he probably wouldn't need the TT if he had dad in his hand and just had to set up a push.
Yeah. So now the Monarch player's side is pretty optimized, I would say. A lot of like 2Os, 3Os. You got triple DD Crow, so
I think that'll always be good.
Dust Tornado is also pretty good.
Yeah, DD Crow's on this side. I think that'll be good. I see Dynas. I don't know. I think those will be okay.
That is good. DD Crow is kind of a weird one. I mean, it depends on like kind of your ins and outs, but it's a weird one. I mean, because like if they ever have multiple waters and heroes, then
Yeah.
and like sometimes just throwing one Treeborn. I mean, the future ones, it's like,
It may not be enough.
but it's complicated because it also hits the jump synchron, and then oftentimes like sometimes if you, I'd say maybe even more so if you're, I mean, he's going second here, so it's like if he just goes swap send, and then he starts his turn with and he has like monarchs to send, or sorry, flips to send, hamster or Ryko, whatever. Just being able to crow the first Treeborn so they can't monarch you is like kind of important. So
It depends. And then I also see Soul Release. So like he does have a good amount of like graveyard hate and one pulling the rug, which he definitely signed.
are they still, is he still signing? It's fine.
Yeah, I think they started playing.
Oh, there we go. Yeah, they don't know.
Good start. Future Fusion.
Future Fusion's a great card. He also didn't send Treeborn, which is kind of interesting. I mean,
Anyway, he has some sort of a reborn like card right now. I guess because he has substitute in his hand, but
I mean, yeah, if you're gonna do it anyway.
interesting and not.
I mean, you can't get it back with Fusion, but like, if you're
Yeah,
going to die,
we'll see. We'll see. Grapher's a good start.
Always a card you want to open with. Kind of an argument whether you want to play 2 or 3.
What Grapher?
Usually,
What do you think? I think two.
I think it's good.
Yeah, you think two Greffer and two Armonite, one Rhoda.
Yeah. Yeah, and I mean, yeah, the Dyna's most likely coming in. He's got a rug. With the Crow and the Soul Release, it's also funny because sometimes you if you send all your Treeborns, and they Soul Release you, then but if you only send the one,
The Soul
And
Release
they-
isn't as good.
but also if they Crow you, then you don't have Treeborn.
Yeah.
So it's kind of a funny 50-50 where it's like, you know, which are you expecting, which is going to be more damaging to you, etc. What is
a good start.
with the we saw it change.
Yeah.
What so he opened that Future Fusion, but I know in game 1, or I'm not sure if he had AMD line in that.
I think I did see Dan.
I thought so, right? Or I mean, yes,
Yeah.
his first card. But I think he must have sided out because usually, like, he had this upstone in hand. Usually, you would just go like send Dandelion, then you have 2,
And then you're able to combo turn 1, right?
yeah, 2 sacks with the you get the stand a lot. I think he must have sided it out and like I don't know if he forgot his other Future Fusion, but like it's still a decent card regardless. But like he's also going first. But yeah, sometimes I could see siding out the Dandelion because if it's hit by aggression, it's too.
This is the point where like every draw in your deck just becomes so strong because you took all the frogs out.
And you have all your side cards in. Like
Yeah, like I see he has Ryza and a Fiend in his a Vanity's Fiend in his
Fusion
hand.
Fusion's gonna resolve summoning 0.
Yeah, like if this Future Fusion resolves summoning 0 next turn, this game is looking like
People often side out like MST Storm too.
this game's probably over.
I was gonna say if that was like a torrential, it could have resolved, but it wasn't torrential.
Yeah, summon up 0. Would you summon the Vanity's Fiend here and just try and
Does he have-
up? Yeah, yes. Oh,
This is just. Oh, yeah,
Sorry.
he has a. What hero? Oh, he sent off for them. He sent as ocean.
yeah.
I think that's the only area. So
Yeah.
he did have the crow. So, I mean, pretty
Yeah.
great value of crow in that situation.
Yeah. So like he has Regeki Break, Vanity's
I'm
Fiend.
not sure.
Yeah.
It's just pressure.
Having a trap card to protect him, like
Pretty lights out.
yeah, it's looking like we'll be going
He
into
like,
game
he, like
3
only
real
showed the
soon.
deepers in the set. Like he's not shot. He very well might have had the
He might have had
word or
that
something.
or Dab,
Yeah.
and maybe that's why he didn't want to crow because
I see his Rhoda. I don't see or assuming. Oh,
Lightning.
this is actually that's actually so crazy. I was gonna say like the only reason why you might not do this is like some random shit, like
yeah.
which is like not. It's pretty commonly cited, but whether it's cited in the mirror is
Or into this match. This is something I was gonna ask. I saw like Lightning Vortex and Mind Control. Like, do you think Mind Control would have seen any play into this matchup? I feel like it's a little weird, unless you're maybe trying to go for game or
Because he gets to resolve the two frog. But sorry,
Did he not get to resolve the deep frog?
but it's an optional. I just didn't know if
Because it goes ab 1, dupe 2, right?
go,
Did they tell him that,
go ask.
that he fit it?
I would ask. Yeah, he's checking. It gets the effect. I know it gets the effect. It gets the effect. They'll figure it out. I think some of the table judges here are more modern players. But yeah, it seemed like he started to use it, and then like they told him he couldn't, so that's the only reason. So they told him this is not your idea.
Yeah, they thought of this time.
It's people
It's
get
weird
hella
with
confused
what,
with that
yeah,
stuff.
especially because people are used to it just being like, oh, one effect misses timing. They don't realize what makes a card miss timing.
Yeah. Oh, he had burial, but he unfits it. Pretty risky to set the burial, I would say, in certain situations. Because
And yeah, I don't know how I feel about setting that burial, especially it looked like
he's
he
pretty
was
low, so he wanted to maybe represent him, but I think he's kind of close regardless. I mean,
Yeah,
he had to work out.
what life is he at right now? Yeah, I can't really see.
Um, yeah, he's at
This is 800.
yeah.
Let's see. Yeah, I don't know what you have left unless it's like a dad. Yeah. He has that trap card for a couple turns.
It's one of those things like with something like Vortex though, where it's like, I mean, it answered the board and like got him back in the game, but he
didn't
still
have
got
cards.
the dupe ad bag, and he used 2 cards to do it, and so it's like you're kind of just back to where he's like.
Like, look at this.
I mean, to be honest, after that opening, and he didn't open that strong. Like,
Yeah.
I mean, that's one of the sort of reasons I
Future Fusion substitute with the Soul Exchange was.
I just don't love Vortex even in the Hero Frogs. It's like best case it's doing something like that, and sometimes it still feels like not enough.
Yeah. And this just feels like a desperation play right here, trying to stay alive. Yeah, Sirocco. Isn't enough. He's just gonna swing it. Yeah.
Yes, the Polyage next turn. And another Vanity.
Yeah.
Frog players side in vanities against value a lot, and I still don't really understand it. I've been playing for years myself.
So I was gonna ask, why do you think it's not that great? I feel like it's fine.
It's fine. It's definitely
Yeah.
fine. There's, I mean, it's just like Triple Ryko and traps and like, I think a lot of, especially the post board when you're playing frogs, is like you never want to assume you're guaranteed to attribute like a safe tribute something, you know?
I guess that's fair.
Like the one good thing about it, and I think this is why people do it, is it doesn't get rugged, you know? So it's like if they're siding in multiple rugs, which is a little less common nowadays, maybe, but like, and they're expecting you to monarch them, that you can ban these and it can walk. They do side out usually some of their more like spot removal-y stuff, like bottomlesses or some amount of these types of cards. But yeah, I still just feel like, you know, I'd rather have a monarch, obviously, and I don't want that many monarchs because I don't know if I'll guarantee have 3-1 access.
Yeah, if you're not gonna be able to tribute someone, you don't want to clog with a bunch of high-level monsters.
Yeah. Like that's the whole game, is they're trying to disrupt it. So Forty 44 people. We have let me list off some. I think of compulsory versus value. I think compulsory is good.
I think Compulsory is a good card. I think it's a card like Book of Moon where it's one of the better neg ones the game has seen. It's like balanced, but It also can win you a lot of games.
Against value, especially, I mean, it just like cuts off their flow of
Like
upgrading.
upscaling.
Oh, how did Miracle fizzle when he had Apple here? I missed that.
Um,
No
so
shit.
the Ab-Zero was on the field because of the Future Fusion, and then he
It would've-
DD Pro.
He DD crowed the ocean, but
Yeah.
I mean, it would have just banished the one on the field.
Oh.
But I guess actually, wait, that's just ends up the
It's
same.
the same-
That's the same scenario.
It's the same situation, and there's no way he doesn't play multiple Ab-Zeros
Yeah.
if he's activating it
Yeah.
right there. So
So I mean, actually, ends up being the same.
yeah,
But good catch. Should have got that one. But yeah, compulsory is also kind of weird though, because I feel like there was a period of time, at least, it's all Edison meta stuff, but like people were really like, oh yeah, just put in like multiple compulsories against value. But I think there's a lot of times that like you don't. I mean, in game one, it was kind of for weird reasons, but like he didn't go for his value seekers early. But in general, I mean, that's kind of how you want to play the deck. You want to Ryko with their back row and Caius them, and then like eventually start summoning your string of synchros. And
once they run out of good cards.
yeah, and so compulsory doesn't do like anything. In fact, is like pretty bad against the Ryko stuff.
Yeah,
of
and
the deck.
you're never gonna compulse a Caius. You're gonna compulse your monster at best.
Exactly, and like they're just like forcing stuff with their Armageddon Knights, and so I like compulsory as like a good defensive option, but it's like at the end of the day, also still just like a 1-for-1 against like against an arguing. So it's like,
Should we tell him to switch the view? So it's like one card I do like in Josiah's hand. He has Soul Taker. I feel like that's a good card into Dupe Frog locks for sure. Looking like a T set on the left side, and then substitute into a swap prop on the right side. Once we get these angles fixed out, we'll be able to see it a little better. Can you recognize what trap card that is? Oh, there we go.
That's water art, I'm pretty sure. Yeah.
Oh, is that the one that takes a card out of there?
Why didn't you realize he's maining?
He's main deck.
He's maining.
Three. Oh, so he's playing like a hand control version almost.
Yeah, I mean it's a pretty good card. It's it's one of these cards that like that's honestly one of the biggest examples I think in this format of like a card that's like really really good when you go first and like pretty bad when you go second.
Yeah. I was about to ask, would you have set it in this situation? Your opponent set a Ryko, like you'd be sacrificing your Swamp Frog for it. Like
early game, I think it's pretty valuable.
Wow.
So that bet basically went like as poorly as possible because not only did he have
like
not only
game might be over.
not only did he have the MST, which is not always kept in against to snipe the water art, and so he left the swap frog on the board sort of for no reason.
Yeah.
But then he just gets crazy punished because obviously the swap frog gets cleared, and he's probably gonna die.
Yeah, like this looks like it's game right here. Especially with the plague in the graveyard.
Yeah,
One just got 2-0, so this
Oh,
man's going.
damn.
Somebody.
wow.
That was a bounty.
Yeah.
Wait, tell them that. Hold on.
I got you. I'll show you.
Yeah.
Let check me.
Yeah.
So
There's a
we
bounty.
just found out that Kamal had a bounty on his head, and unfortunately he got 2-0'd this round. So his
They're giving
person
away
that 2-0'd him will be getting this beautiful
UDS.
UDS play mat.
Pretty penny. Oh yeah. So yeah, this has got it. If it's not game on, I mean,
Does he have value access? Yeah, this is game right here. Because what is that? 25, 14, 49. Yeah, that's
yeah,
game.
he had a soul taker in hand. I saw. I mean, that's a.
Yeah.
It doesn't help you at all here. Like
Near 40
Pro-
guys.
probably
Yeah,
helps
his hand was really custom, honestly. Like his hand was really strong.
well, I mean the. Also,
Oh, the mills were insane, but just like having Caius also like as a follow up and having one of your stronger chaps.
the dark ground.
Being able to slam the dark arm so early was just killer.
I mean, but kind of ironic. I mean, he was still pretty down bad, but like, if he had water arted taken the dark arm, then
Yeah.
like,
No, then
does
that would have
get
been the
a bunch more
yeah.
turns and like. So yeah, I mean, Water Art's a weird card because it's so strong and like it's basically like against any deck. If you had it going first, it would be pretty good. Like,
Yeah.
but because I've even used it against like Blackwing going first and stuff, where it's like shouldn't be good. But yeah, especially going second when the problem with Frogs also it's like if your turn one is often like sub for swap or summon swap, send thing, and then you're monarching them or trying to play on your turn two, then like you're if you're and you really want to be tributing the Trueborn for Water Art ideally. And so it's like
It's a
you
turn